Guys, all the cars that you see in these videos are for sale on my website, www.woodsandbarclay.com. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, so we're back from the test drive video, and I'm just going to do a couple of final aesthetic touches on the car before I take it over to Scott to have it professionally buffed, polished, detailed, and the interior cleaned. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'll show you what I'm going to do today. So number one, I've got some of the original paint. I had some paint mixed up, and you can see there's a couple little rock chips. There's like one there, and I saw a couple of other ones on here. Maybe one right over here. So I'm going to take my dabber and just do a little touch up before Scott does wet sanding over it, and we'll touch up the little rock chips. Now, what I've actually already done that I didn't show in the video, I went ahead and reattached. You can see here's the wood trim, and on just about every one of these cars I see, the wood trim will lift from the back. It's because the glue behind there, it just ages and gets old. And so I went ahead and re-glued down the sides of the wood trim, and I've removed the center plate here. And this climate control wood piece is actually glued to a backing plate. So I removed that, went ahead and added, re-glued it, make sure it's securely attached to the backing plate. So that's done, and all that looks nice. Now Scott's going to polish all this wood and clean all my fingerprints off of everything, and when he does the interior detailing. Now the next thing that I want to do is you can see these are beautiful condition visors, and they work great. However, if you look right there, see how that's starting to crack around the hinge? Guys, I see that on almost every single 123. And you can see it right over here too. And when that little piece right there finally cracks and breaks out, this visor, the mirror cover will not stay attached there. You can see that one's about to go. So we're going to go ahead and remove the visor. You just unscrew it here and here, and I'll get it to the bench. And I have some original Mercedes visor inserts. I'm going to remove this one and replace this entire piece. Guys, to remove these visors, it's very easy. So first we're going to undo there's a screw in the back. We'll go ahead and undo that one. And I'll just set it down here in the center console area. Then we'll fold it down, and we'll undo this one right here. There's just two screws holding them in there. All right, once we have those out, I'll just detach the visor there, and this guy comes out of the car. Let's get this over to the workbench. All right, guys, just to show you how common this issue is, you can see all the visors I have over here in my visor stash, and here's the one we just took out of the car. You can see this one is not horrible, but we're starting to get that crack right there. Now, what I do is I purchase, these are all old stock original visor inserts. See, it just goes down in there, and you can see all these are crack free. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to remove this one, and we'll start by taking out the internal guts, and then we'll kind of pry this out of here, and then we'll re-glue this good one back in here. And just like everything on these cars, these are also designed to be rebuildable and replace the bulbs and all that. But what we can do, we'll first take out this internal section here. There we go. We'll pop that guy out of here. Let's see how much trouble this one's going to give us. Just have to carefully go around the edges. There we go. And so you can slowly pry it out. There's that piece. So just by moving it a little bit, we already lost that little piece, and that keeps the hinge. See, now the hinge comes out. But let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and take out the bulbs here, because these bulbs never go bad in the visors. I've never seen a bad visor bulb, because people don't use the visors very much, use the mirror. So I'm going to delicately go around here and start to get this out. And you just have to be careful, guys, and slowly pry around all the edges, and you can get them detached. So let me go ahead and work on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, that old piece, I put it on the trash pile over there. Came out very easy. Now, here's our new visor insert, and you can see that is an original Mercedes part. And that's perfect. There's no cracks around there. So what we want to do, first I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to remove the center section. Here we go. Delicately get this out of here. All right, there we go. We're going to pull that out. We'll set it aside. And here we go. Here is our wiring. Here we go. That's where it was clipped out of the parts car, because that's where we find these. We find these in yards. I've got a parts supplier that finds this stuff for me. And we're going to feed those down through there, like so. Now what we want to do is reattach our lines here to the wires that were in the car. And the way that works, there's constant power running through the headliner in the car. And these are the contacts in the little clip in the car that provide power that runs through here. And when you open that visor, it triggers a switch that activates the lights. So first, let me strip these ends off, and we'll temporarily set this here and connect it. And we'll just make sure our bulbs are working correctly. Now I will temporarily connect these guys here. Temporarily, I'm just going to twist them around. Okay, now we're just temporarily just going to set this here. I'm not going to put it in there. And I'm going to hook up 12-volt power and make sure everything works correctly. All right, I just have this is a battery jump box. It provides 12-volt power. I'll turn that on. All right, now I've got one electrode or clip, alligator clip connected. There we go. When I connect the other one, we correctly get our lights. So I'm going to go ahead and clamp that on here. Now they should shut off when I close it. There you go. See when you start to close it, how they shut off? They only open up when the visor's open. Good. So that's working great. Let me go ahead and get those connections permanently connected and put this back in here, and I'll show you when it's complete. Okay, before I glue in the visor insert, right now I just have it set in there. I went ahead and hooked up power one more time, and when we open this, when it gets to the top, we should see the lights come on. Bam. And I actually took the mirror insert from the one that came out of the car because it was a little cleaner. I liked it a little better than the one I had in mind. Perfect. See how that correctly deactivates? Beautiful. All right, now I need to get just a dab of epoxy, and let's see if I can show you guys. There we go. We're going to put a dab of epoxy just here and over on the other side, and then slip it down in there, and that will hold it, and that will not come out until, 40 years from now, another guy has to do this same job. Anyway, let me go ahead and get that process started. Okay, guys, this is what I like to use. It's a JB Weld Clear Quick Setting Epoxy. And I like to use this because if you try super glue on these, the super glue reacts with this plastic and it makes it get this like cloudy whiteness that appears on it. So you don't want to use super glue on your visors. The 5-minute epoxy always works better. And it doesn't take very much at all, guys. We're going to squirt just a little dab out right there, and then we'll mix that up. Okay, now all you want to do, we just want to lift up the edge. Get a little of this goop right here. We just want to run it right along the bottom edge here. Right along there. Just like that. Squish that right down in there. And we're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. And again, it doesn't take very much, guys. This is just very, very lightweight, fragile plastic. It's not like there's any intense forces on this thing. All right, we just dab a little there. And we'll just slip that back down into there. Okay. Now we just let that dry. Okay, you can see there's the driver's side. That's the one that's drying up here. And I've just worked on the passenger side. You can see the clips are on the other side. Now let's activate our jump box. Boom. Perfect. So we have a good crack-free driver and passenger side. All right, mission accomplished. Let's go ahead and get these guys back in the car. All right, we'll start here with the driver's side. Put that guy back up in there. And I'm going to get my screws here. All right, let's make sure it works correctly. Beautiful. Mission accomplished. All right, let me go ahead and knock out the passenger side. Make sure those are down there tight. All right, beautiful. Let's go do the passenger side. Fold it up, and let's get the one on the back side. All right, let's test this guy out. Beautiful. So now we have crack-free working original Mercedes visors. All right, guys, so that means we're done with the interior. Visors are good. I've re-glued any of the wood trim that was starting to come up on the dash. That's all been reattached. That's the original stuff, guys. That's in incredible condition. Now, Scott is going to clean and polish this stuff when we do detailing. But for now, let's go to the front of the car and touch some of those little touch-up spots with the original 540 paint code. All right, guys, here's the original, let's see, Mercedes Desert Red. We had them, the paint shop, there's 540 base coat. And we had them match this to the fuel door using a laser scanner along with the paint code to get it close to start with. Now, let me show you how you do touch-ups. All right, so I like to, once I shake it up, I just take the lid of the paint can because you barely need any paint for this. And then you need these little, we call them dabbers, micro applicator brushes. Let me show you what these look like. And they have like little, like a little microfiber tip on them. And basically, you want to dab like the slightest bit of paint. That's it, just barely any. Okay, here we go. Now, keep in mind, Scott hasn't polished or buffed this or anything, but see that little chip right there? You want to take this, barely touch it. That's it. That's all you want to do. Now, when that dries, Scott's gonna, when he wet sands and buffs, it'll smooth that out a little bit. But if you get in there and you start messing with it and trying to get it filled and smooth and whatnot, you're never gonna get it. These are 40-year-old cars, guys. They all have little rock chips or nicks on the front of the paint. That's the nature of the beast on a classic car with original paint. So this is what you do to touch that up. All right, so here, one there. That's it. Slow down. There's a couple more up here. Just barely touch it. All right. Now I'm going to go around the car, just see if I see anything else, and that's how you do that. So this is going to go over to Scott tomorrow, and those little touch-up spots will have time to dry overnight tonight. All right, guys, that is it for this video, and we are officially done with everything I wanted to do to this car. Tomorrow it's going to Scott. I'll video the detail process. That usually takes 2 or 3 days. Scott is extremely thorough. And you already seen the test drive video. So next then will be, after detailing, will be the final walk around, and then she will be ready. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.